So I guess it must be clear by now to all of us that NASA is never going to stop. I don't know who feeds us more baloney. NASA, the government, the news stations, like the list goes on. You got to be some gullible to buy, and of course they do believe we're that gullible. But I mean, here you're talking about now again, and NASA's going on with. I was there doing some drywall in the cottage, and I listened to something in the background, and NASA is going on with asteroid 2024 OR1. It's 8 million miles away. It's the size of a blue whale, which is a big thing, but in reality, it's about 100, 110 feet. And depending on if that's full-grown blue whale or not, because they didn't specify. And it's traveling at 30,000 miles an hour, just a little over, and it's going to come within 2.2 million miles of Earth. It's crazy stuff. It's crazy. Anybody who believes that they're monitoring all this stuff and all these rocks flying around through space and 2 million miles away, which is they call a near-Earth orbit or near-Earth object, NEO. And that's, of course, if you believe that Earth is a spinning ball flying through space at 60,000 miles an hour, spinning on its axis at 1,000 miles an hour, going through the galaxy at a million miles an hour, or a million kilometers an hour, I guess 600,000 miles an hour, whatever the hell it is, a lot fast. And then they're plus at the same time, all this other shit's going on. They're managing to monitor this rock that's 110 feet. It's even smaller than the last one I talked about, and it's 110 feet. It's 8 million miles away. It's coming within 2.1 million miles of Earth, and somehow they're managing to with all these things going on to keep an eye on this stone. It's smaller than a lot of people's homes. It's certainly smaller than any. It's not 110 feet. It's not very big, and that's 110 feet in diameter. They didn't say it was a perfectly round sphere, so let's say it's egg shaped. It's 110 feet by 50 feet or something. It's not. It's a big rock. You wouldn't want it landing on your head, but it's not. In the whole scheme of things, it's not very big, and they're managing to track this thing. I'll tell you exactly, like to the point, like 30,336.6 miles an hour. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Or cops seeing a car, a mile away can't get that level of accuracy with the radar. Never mind something that's 8 million miles away. It's ridiculous. I mean, don't forget now, a tractor trailer is 75 feet long. So you're not talking about a very big object. The trailer alone is 52 feet. Then you got the tractor on the front. So you're talking about 75 to 90 feet. I mean, if you got a B train, well, then it's longer than this asteroid. A transport truck with 2 trailers, a B train. So you're not talking about a very big object here. For all you people who can't imagine how big 110 feet is, between 100 and 110 feet. And so, I mean, anybody who believes in this nonsense believes that a bullet traveled by Trump's ear and didn't bust his eardrum. It put a 2-centimeter size hole in his ear, apparently, which is, damn near an inch. And the bandage is off now, and it's completely healed. Like, as a matter of fact, it's so completely healed that if you look at pictures before, because there's lots of pictures of Donald Trump, there's no trouble to find a picture of his ear. If you look at pictures of his ear before and his ear now, there's absolutely no damage. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but no bullet pierced his ear. There's not a cut there. There's not a mark. There's nothing. I mean, I've had my ear cut, and it bleeds like a SOB. It pours blood. It's hard to get stopped. I mean, it makes a mess. And Donald giving a speech there, there was blood in my hand pouring. It wasn't a drop in his hand. Look at the pictures. There's not a drop. I actually believed it at first that he probably got shot, and then now I think that's about as much nonsense as this rock flying through space. I think the whole thing is just fucking nuts. And so, and you got to be nuts to believe it. So anybody that's buying into this stuff, I've got some waterfront property in Nevada for sale, some oceanfront property, and it's going cheap. I mean, at a certain point, I mean, the BBC and the CNN and the CBC and all these news networks, Sky News, whoever the hell you're talking about, how far they must be, there must be an inside joke where they're wondering to themselves how far they can go, how far they can push the envelope, how much shite can they shove down our throats, and us still swallow it and say, it's delicious, that's good, and believe what they're saying. From the riots in England, blaming the people, the citizens, on the riots, where the government let in tons of immigrants, undocumented, you know, trying to make us believe now that's our fault, and arresting people who are posting about it on Facebook right now in the UK to, near misses or near hits with bullets. Somebody looks like somebody did get shot there, but that doesn't mean anybody shot at Trump. I mean, there's not a mark on his ear. Look into it. I'll see if I can find something and put it here. And now rocks. And of course, there's always something to worry about. There's always something to scare you. There's always something something that's, exciting to put on the news. So it's highly, highly, highly unlikely, 99.9% to infinity, that there's no friggin' rock. It's just made up bullshit. And same as that there's no magic bullet, for Kennedy. There's no magic bullet for Trump, okay? And there's no way that men should be beating the shit out of women at the Olympics. So from NASA to the Olympics, and everything in between, and Klaus Schwab, eat the bugs, you'll owe nothing and you'll be happy, okay? And eat the bugs. You have some bugs for dinner, like you're not allowed to have beef anymore. We'll serve you some cockroaches. They're saying it. I'll see if I can put it here. If you're buying into all this stuff, if you think all this stuff is reality and what's really going on, then you have to really stop and go, okay, like, am I nuts myself, like, for believing in this? And chances are you're going to say yes. All this stuff is nonsense. Stop believing in it. Like stop it. Like, I was trying to listen to something that made sense, and I was for a while, and then of course the BitChute swapped over to the next video because I forgot to turn off autoplay, which I normally do, and it went into this NASA stuff. And of course they're talking about NASA. NASA makes me laugh every time. Trailer Park Boys, what do you think, you own space?
What, do you own space? No, NASA does.
NASA.
It went into this NASA stuff, and it just, every time I hear, NASA, just like, fuck, the money that goes into it, it's almost as wasteful and as good at laundering and stealing our money as the American, well, any military, but American in particular. So, if you're buying into this stuff, I mean, stop watching television. Like, go read a book, or stop eating fluoride, because it's in your bottled water, a lot of bottled water. It's in toothpaste and all this. Get the fluoride out of your system. If you've got an IQ above 120, which a lot of the population doesn't, even above 110, stop fluoridating yourself. Stop drinking for a bit. Sit back, and think cognitively, reasonably. Like, stop medicating yourself, because I'm sure the physicians, got 60 or 70% of the population, if not more, medicated right now, besides the fluoride, besides all the other shit, and that doesn't count for all the white sugar and all the shit that's in the grocery stores and at the convenience stores that people are eating. Clean yourself up a bit, and so you can think clearly and go, does this make sense? Because I think to a clear-headed, cognitive person, 9 times out of 10 or more, this has been my experience anyway, that they'll go, what the fuck is going on? When you stop and think about it, when you actually stop and think about it, and you don't just buy, eat the shit sandwich you're being served, you realize, this doesn't not only not look tasty, it tastes like shit too. I don't want it. Please ponder it. Cheers.